had a bit of a meltdown as well, talking about the England squad.
Meltdown?
Yeah, I've had enough of it, Jace. I've had enough of it.
Why are you being harsh on Gareth? What's he done to you?
No,
What's he done?
He's won nothing. That's what he's done. He's won nothing. And you might as well call it England FC. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing the same players picked for England who don't even play for their clubs. They don't play. It's outrageous. You know, I'm looking at Erik Dyer plays, right? He gets in the team. I don't know how he's getting in the team based on his performance. Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount are not playing. They're not playing. Calvin Phillips has played 56 minutes of Premier League football this season. He gets picked for the England team. What is the point? Seriously, what is the point in trying your best for your club if you ain't got no chance of getting in the England squad?
Well, I've heard this argument for many years, but Gareth has shown and proven that he is very loyal. He has a way of playing, and he trusts those players. Now, you can't just pick players on form because players go in and out of form, right? There are one or two questionables in there. I wouldn't disagree with that. But that's what Gareth Southgate does. Maguire, we had the conversation before the World Cup. Maguire couldn't get in Man United's team. Is he going to the World Cup? 100% we were told he's going to the World Cup. 100%. Can't get in Man United's first 11. He goes. Actually plays very well. So I think that Gareth has shown that he can and will get a tune out of certain players. The problem you've got...
Come on, James.
Okay, give me some other names.
Come on, mate.
Who would you have in place of Maguire? That's the question.
Tomori.
Who would you have in
Lewis
place?
Dunk.
Who would you have in...
Tomori. Lewis Dunk. Chris Smalling.
You just...
Why are them players not... Tomori, I watched him this season. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He might be
why
able
is
to
he
get in
not?
there.
Why is he not getting a shout? Why is he not getting a chance? James Ward-Prowse playing brilliantly every week for Southampton. Calvin Phillips is getting picked in front of him. Solly March for Brighton.
Yes,
fantastic.
I'm agree. Look, Solly March
doesn't get a sniff.
I spoke to you the other day about Solly March. Maybe he'll get in there. But this squad here right now, he's gone back to what he knows. He's gone back to what he trusts.
But it's what he always does, Jays. What he always does. Goes back to what he trusts. They won nothing. They've won zilch.
And you think bringing in Lewis Dunk is going to change that?
I mean, honestly, like Todd Bowley must have contracts going at England, 7-year deals for somebody. Harry Maguire, he must be his agent. He's still getting picked. He doesn't play. Conor Gallagher don't start. Mason Mount don't start.
Well, Mason does start.
Calvin Phillips don't start.
Mason does start.
No, he doesn't start.
He does. He's been injured. He's been injured.
Well, he's been injured. Yeah. But he gets picked for England.
Yeah, I know, but you can't just pick on current form, Jay. You can't. You can't just do it because form. This is not a team. This is not a club. I know you're trying to pretend it is.
No.
But actually, Southgate goes and watch.
No, it's not a club.
No, but I'm saying you can't just pick. If you picked on current form, your England squad would change every single time.
No, you have your bread and butters in there. The players you know in there, you're going to give you're going to trust them. They're going to play you week in, week out. So you know you're going to, your Carl Walkers, your Luke Shaws, your John Stones. Them players there. You build the team around. But what is the point? The whole point of representing your country is based on success that you have at your club. So when you're playing for Brentford and you're playing for Brighton and you keep getting overlooked as a young England player, and you're looking at it going, how is Calvin Phillips getting picked over me when I've been playing week in, week out?
Who would you have
Brighton?
over Calvin Phillips?
Solly March.
I mean, they're different types of players.
James Ward-Prowse.
Different types of players.
What do you mean? Calvin Phillips don't play.
He's a holding midfielder. What he wants. Now, let's try and think about what he's doing here.
No, I don't want to think about it.
No, you've got to. Try and think inside Gareth's mind. Gareth has proven and shown the biggest mistake Gareth ever made was going back years ago. He's going to pick players on form. Should never have said it, and I'm sure he regrets saying that because everyone's taking him literally. The problem you've got is that players go in and out of form, all right? If you just chose the players that have played well in the last 3 to 6 weeks, if that's all you're doing, then you'd be all over the place.
It's not England FC, James.
You've got to go back to what he knows, and he's doing that. Now there are players that are questionable.
Why do you have to go back to what you know?
Why?
I understood it. No, James, let me finish. Let me finish.
Listen to me. That's what Gareth's doing. Get in his head.
No, yeah, but James, what I don't know, I could understand it when the World Cup came round because it was in the middle of the season. There was no build-up games, no warm-up games, and you had to go straight in. So you picked a squad that you know. This is a new qualification starting. New players should be coming into this squad and being given an opportunity to stake their claim to play for England, who are playing brilliantly in their club football. It is not Club England. It's not England FC.
Yeah, but that's your opinion. What I'm saying is Gareth has shown and proven over the time he's been there, he ain't gonna bow to that. What's
Dan Burn got to do to get an England call up?
Oh mate, come on.
What do you mean, come on?
See, this is all you're doing now is just throwing English names at me. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing.
What am I doing?
All you're doing is throwing English names at me. Dan Burn.
No, I'm throwing English players at you who are playing very good football at the moment, and players who are getting picked for England who haven't played for their club team.
No, I'm not saying that they don't deserve an opportunity. What I'm saying is get inside Gareth's mind.
The whole point of representing your country. Representing your country is based on success that you have in your club team. It is.
No, that's not true.
You need to be rewarded.
I don't believe.
You need to be rewarded and play for your country.
I don't necessarily think that's true, because if someone had a bad, it's like Rashford, right? Look at Rashford. If you go into that World Cup, right? If you go into that World Cup, you ain't picking Rashford. Southgate did. He did. Now look at him. So players can go in and out of form. Players can go in and out. If you just picked your squad based on what you've seen over the last month, your squad would be all over the place. You would. It'd be a different squad every week. Every time an international team.
There's 5 or 6 positions in that England squad that should be based on what players are performing well for their clubs. Whether it's Southampton, who are bottom of the league, whether it's Brentford, whether it's Brighton. But no, he goes and picks a player who sits on the bench every week for Manchester City, who's played 56 minutes of football. How is that right? How can you be representing your country when you played 56 minutes of football?
Again, I'll tell you why. Because he knows the relationship he's got with Declan Rice. Because how they play together. He knows how they play. It's true though, Jay.
Give me a break.
No, I'm telling you.
You're telling me that the players you can't get a new relationship.
No,
it tried. It failed. We've had 3 major competitions that we've played in as Gareth Southgate as a manager. Lost them all. When do you move on and stop picking the same team?
All I'm saying is you've got to get in Gareth's mind, and this is what Gareth does. All right? This is what he does.
I'll get in his mind. Park the bus.
Historically.
Get to a quarter-final, get beat again. There you go. I'm in it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he's the most successful manager we've had in, if you want to call that success.
Is it success?
Well, based on what we've done in the last 50, 60 years, yes. He's doing something right, okay? Maybe not getting over the line. Maybe he's the man, maybe he's not.
Let's go to Matt, who's a Brighton fan. All right, Matt?
Hi, boys. You all right?
Yeah, good, Matt. How are you?
Good. Yeah, not bad. I wanted to call in this afternoon on drive, but I didn't have time. I just want to say, Jason, you laughed at when Jamie said about Dunk coming into the squad. And
no, all he was doing is throwing English centre-halves at me.
No, I'm throwing players who are playing well.
That's all he was doing.
You worship Thiago Silva, right? Great centre-back, 37 years old. All Chelsea fans love him. Fair enough, that's great. But Lewis Dunk, I've got a stat here, completed 27 line-breaking passes against West Ham, which is it's the most recorded in a single game in the Premier League this season, previously held by Thiago Silva, 22. Then you got Solly March, since Boxing Day, since we've come back. He's the returns from Boxing Day. Only 2 players have scored more non-penalty goals than Solly March. That's Marcus Rashford and Erling Haaland. So obviously I can understand we've got a lot of forwards in that department. Solly March, yeah, he's having a good season and I can understand it, but you don't need Mount and Gallagher. They're the same player and they're both not playing. You can substitute one of them off and bring March in, who can also play.
Do you know what? Solly March has caught my eye. He's caught my eye. But you know what? Maybe he needs to do it for a little bit longer. It's one thing having a nice spell and a good spell, right? But you can't. Players have good spells. Players have good months. Players have good 6 weeks.
He's 28. Lewis Dunk's 31. He's not going to have another chance.
No, well, maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's a reason why he hasn't been called up yet.
Yeah,
maybe there is, right?
If you're not going to pick players on form, and if you're at a small club, I guarantee you.
No, that's rubbish because he's picked. No, get the chip off your shoulder, Matt, because he's proven Southgate that he will pick players from the so-called small clubs. He's done that in the past. Solly March, right?
Like who though?
Well, he's had Will Prowse in the squad and Southampton.
He's had a couple of appearances. That's it. He doesn't take him to a World Cup though, does he? And he didn't pick Jack Grealish until he moved to City.
No, but then you look at the standard that they're playing. He's playing Champions League football at City. At Villa, he wasn't.
Yeah, of course.
There are. I hear what you're saying, right?
Eric Dyer is better than Lewis Dunk. No way. Under-deserved. Dunk is is the most informed centre back in the country.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's been injured. I heard he had a good game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Southgate wants to see him a little bit longer, but it's one thing having a good 6 or 7 weeks, like Solly March has, and he's caught my eye. I think he's been brilliant.
Lewis Dunk's been brilliant for the last 3 seasons.
Maybe there's a reason why he hasn't played for England yet. Maybe there is. Maybe it's one of those brilliant centre halves.
An agenda again't these clubs. I honestly do think it's like that.
Honestly, it's why would he? Why would he?
Because he doesn't take risks. He's a yes man.
Well, why is that risk?
Because he's bringing in Lewis Dunk, who's only had 1 cap. He's in the form of his life, played solid for 3 seasons. I'm telling you, he's the most informed centre back in the country. Tell me who's ahead of him.
Well,
Dyer isn't ahead of him. I watched loads of Spurs games. He is shocking. John Stones on his day is very good, but he's been injured. So who else is there?
Dyer's playing Champions League football, by the way.
Well, he's not anymore. They're out.
Yeah, I mean, he has been, right?
Yeah,
he has been.
And he's not
been playing.
He's not standing out. He never.
What I'm saying is
what
the level.
matches Dyer got this season for Spurs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You're a Brighton fan, I get it. But I think that what happens is, whenever you get an England squad out, there's always going to be fans of some clubs that say, why is he not picked? Why is he? Every single squad, without fail, every single squad.
You should pick players on form, not ones that sit on the bench every week.
Yeah, but the problem you've got then is, what if they drop out of form? You know, that happens in football. He wants to look over a long period. The World Cup was only in December. Solly March has had a brilliant last 6-7 weeks, right?
So why is he not
brilliant. Because maybe he wants to see it doing over a longer period.
All right. Keep your calls
it's not
coming
under
in.
21 football, by the way. Do you know what I mean? He's got a massive pool of players,
but it's not
and he
England FC.
understands. No, I know it's not.
Represent your country.
Yeah, but
you play well on the football pitch.
you say if you've had 3 good games in the squad.
It's not 3 good games, is it?
3 good weeks. 3 good weeks.
3 good weeks. Are you talking nonsense?
3 good.
Solly March has been brilliant all season.
3 good months.
There's been players who've been playing well all season. Before Dan Burn, before the World Cup, everyone talking about him. He should be in there. Didn't get picked. Hasn't got picked again. Lewis Dunk has been a very good centre half for the last 2 or 3 seasons.
Maybe they will get in there one day. Maybe this squad. They have it in this squad.
In a friendly against.
Yeah, maybe.
No one.
Maybe that's what he's waiting for.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.